Where be to today, boy, you ask? Well, I've been on Johnny Bus again, folks. What a bloody long old trip to get here today, it seemed. Bus wasn't on time, cigarette breaks for the drivers, and so it went on. Well, you know where I'm to? In Dawlish. Let's go and have a look at the conditions, I'll tell you all about it. Pretty nice out there, folks. The water surface is very smooth. There's probably a half a foot wave coming in, if you're lucky. And we'll be heading out that way. We're heading back towards Teignmouth because I've cocked up my tide times well and truly, and I knew that on the way here. I don't know, I looked at it a couple of nights ago. I could have swore it was a pushing tide. I got an hour and a half until the tide even turned, so change of plans. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically paddling back to Teignmouth and take the bus home from Teignmouth, folks. That is the plan. So a little bit different to what I was going to go up the estuary as well. I was going to add a bit on, but hey ho, you got to be able to adapt as you go. Normally go from one place and then back to that same place, don't you, folks? Let's start as we mean to go on, folks. Say them out loud and proud. Now, I'm not going to stop for every single time I see GWR, read them and weep, folks. We might see if we can stop and find one. I've got to carry on and pump up my weapon of destruction. I'd probably guess is my 2 bare feeter, just because it might be a little tiny bit lighter than the other boards. So got some kayakers coming in now, and I'm going to interview one of them before he even goes in. You're all going to be looking at my paddleboard now and saying, "Are you going for a week bite?" No, I'm not going for a week bite. I'm going for a couple of hours. That bag, that contains all the hopes and dreams of every paddleboarder in the world. No, it doesn't. It contains a bit of old guff. So we are laden down. It's going to be fun though. Of course, we've got to get out past this couple of little waves first. That's going to mean my bloody dry bag ain't going to be dry for much longer. And then we'll head on down towards Teignmouth. I might have a swim along en route, or I might have a swim when we get down there. There is another massive one going by now, folks. Now, read them out loud and read them out proud. You know what it is, folks. That's what we call in the trade GWR, folks. Read them and weep. Don't worry, the whole video won't be GWR, because I'll see dozens of them, no doubt. Let's get on the water, and go.
You say you will if you could, but you can't. I love you madly. Let my imagination run away. You gladly. Brand new angle that we recommend. Seaside rendezvous.
Going the wrong way, Bay, is what a lot of you will be thinking. I am going the wrong way. I was going to head over to this bridge over here, because from Dawlish to that bridge is the only bit between Powderham and Berry Head I haven't done. And it's a bloody long way over. I can't be bothered to go. I just don't want to do it at the minute. I was going to do it because I thought it'd take me a couple of minutes, take me another 10 minutes, quarter of an hour to get over there maybe on this board. And the same back again. Ugly old train coming through there, folks. Don't like them. Don't like them very much. It's what we call in the trade of cross country, and it's like a bit grimy, a bit like you think they're a bit from dog patch, if that means anything to you. You know, went on one of those last week actually, and different league. You know, you got the GWR with its luxury. Not luxury, luxury. You got those guys, fit for purpose, I suppose. That's the difference, folks. Fit for purpose or luxury. Enough luxating. Let's head on. This time, that away. Towards the Lazy Stones. We'll go through the little arch. Let's go.
You're so romantic. Can we do it again? Can we do it again sometime? I like fantastic. C'est la vie, madame et messieurs. And at the peak of the season with that geranium, this time of year, it's so fashionable.
Just want to bring you the view from out here, folks, because it's something a lot of people, if you can't get on the water, you can't see this. So that's Corriton. I think it's called Corriton Cove. People will tell me if I'm wrong. And then along here you've got all these properties. Of course, you're at the top of the red cliffs, you think, ooh, how long is it going to be before that red cliff over there goes down, and all that sort of stuff. The old GWRs are nipping past now. There's some properties on top there. That looks like it's been reinforced at the top there for those guys to look out on. But you've got these little caves through here, and of course those caves actually act as, some of them act as vents for the tunnel that goes underneath. So the tunnel's darting in and out all the time. Sorry, the train is darting in and out all the time. The tunnels that goes between Teignmouth and Dawlish. And there's a new section over here that's been built. Let's go have a closer look and see what all that is about. But some of you will be thinking, bloody hell, boy, you're a fair way out, and I am. I am confident if I had to, I could swim that. The conditions are pretty mellow. There are reefs and stuff under here. What's a reef? It's just a slab of rock underneath the water, and it makes it quite shallow. So I don't really want to be going over that, because one, it could snag my board, or two, if I fell in, I've got to make sure you fall sort of horizontally almost. Might sound like a silly thing to say, but if you fall horizontally, you're less likely to hit your head and damage yourself if you did hit a rock. Okay, so I'm just taking that risk away by staying well clear of it all. So on we go up here, a few cormorants over that way, and we'll go and have a look at this new structure that's been built, because some of you will be familiar with it when you come under it on the train. Now on we go. Not sure if you can hear me, folks, here, but basically that's that structure there I was just talking about. It reminds me a bit of a game I used to play on the on an old games console called the 3DO. So this would have been a 32-bit console back in the early 90s, and one of the games I used to play on that was a game called Need for Speed. It was the first console they ever brought the game out for, and give a thumbs up there to the guys on the GWR there, folks. One of the first games that ever came out, well, the first console that Need for Speed came out for, and they're only racing down roads and used to go under structures. It looks a bit like that one, and it kind of reminds me of that. So if you're ever coming down on the train now, look out for that structure, because it wasn't there previously. Let's stop and have a closer look. But now we've got something that is obviously, I say obvious, it might be obvious to everyone, and I'm guessing as well, so it's not absolutely obvious, but it's there to protect the track, isn't it? So what's going to be happening there is any rock and stuff that's going to come down will land on that area. Why that section? Why not going all the way along? That's down to the engineers, of course, to work that lot out. But as you can see, that train fitted under there, so they obviously worked that out, didn't they, folks? Imagine that. Imagine they got it wrong. How do they build it? A lot of precast concrete, maybe. Probably not all precast concrete. You can see there's like holes on there. It leads me to think it was in situ. So that means cast in situ, in place. Cast where it's going to stay, basically. The top units are probably more precast. But just think of how they had to construct it in a way to mitigate disruption to the railway, and do it in a safe manner as well, and also do it on the edge of a sea that we know can be pretty ferocious. Now, as I look across here now, if I zoom right in, I've got a seal just under the water there. Now, they say if you disturb a seal, you've got too close, and that's mainly when they're actually on the on rocks and stuff, and they're just chilling out and stuff. I haven't. I've been a long way out and I haven't seen any seals on rocks. I haven't disturbed any seals. This is a small seal, grey seal, I would think, and that'd be a female. The male seals can be massive, so I'm pretty, and they tend to have a more rounded, sort of more square snout to them. So this is a female seal, I'm pretty sure of that, and doesn't like my nattering on, so he's not going to probably like and subscribe. And it's just disappeared under the water now. I'm just going to sit here really gently, and the wind and the waves are just pushing me in so slowly, but we might get another glimpse of this seal, and it's nice to see. Lovely to see wildlife, and of course you don't want to disturb it. You want it to be, we're in its front room now, aren't we? We're in that seal's front room, so the most we got to do is be respectful to that seal. He's now having a good old look at me. And it's saying, what on earth are you doing here, Steve Dog? What are you doing here? Now, me and my son Ellis do some bodyboarding, and seals like this will go and bite your fins if you're out in deep water bodyboarding. They don't seem to bother you if you're doing stand-up surfing, but when you're bodyboarding, they love to go for your fins. Gone in a little bit now. So obviously he just swooped around and went back in, having a good old look at me, saying, what are you doing? Looking up in the sky. They sometimes call that, I think they call it snorkeling or something. That's where they sometimes can go to sleep in the water and they put their nose up. But there you go. Anyway, enough of that seal. Yeah, had a bit of a snort there. Let's turn around and say cheerio to Mrs. Seal, and we'll head back on around under the old lazy stone. So better get moving on. Good job on paying attention here, folks, because there's more seals in there on the rocks. One dark one kind of central there, now one to the right a bit more that's glistening. There might even be a third one in there, so I'm just going straight out. I'm going to go straight out to sea, so I'm not going to get any closer to them, give them a really wide berth, because I don't want to disturb them and make them move from their rock, because that is using up energy they don't need to use up. So I'm going to move straight out now and not get any closer. Probably won't go in around the rock, but we'll see if we can get under there if I'm far enough from the seals to do so. Anyway, on we go. So folks, I'm sat here feeling quite smug with myself really, because I went out a long old way and the seals were keeping an eye on me, but they didn't move. So I did the right thing there. I really did the right thing. I'm quite made up about that. I didn't go under the arch in the end, but I didn't need to. I haven't disturbed the birds up on the cliff up there, and I most importantly didn't disturb the seals. Gentleman out here on his kayak, mackerelin actually. I'm going to call him Dennis, and then in a minute I'm going to find out what his name is really, and then I'm going to tell him that I do a video channel. You never know, curiosity might get the better of him and he might like and subscribe, and that's what all of you guys can do. Click the button at the top, press the notification bell, but of course let's just say it's only a graphic, you can't press it really, can you? But we all knew that, didn't we? I'm just going to go inside this needle here, and I'm going to say hello to Dennis and just say to him, look mate, have you caught anything? Stay wide of the seals and like and subscribe. And he might say I'm eating half off. We'll find out shortly. This guy's been currently referred to as Dennis, but now he's changed his name to Mark. But I've always known him as Dennis, but now he's called Mark. So there you go, you learn something new every day. Mark has got how many mackerel?
Zero.
Zero?
Zero so far.
See, that is the optimism of an angler there, so far. Yeah, so far. Right, on we go. That way. Mark, as he now likes to be called, was telling me that that rock there is called the Parson, and that rock there is called the Clerk. I've always called that one Lazy Stone and that one the pillar or something like that. But the parson and the clerk, and apparently if you get them at the right angle, they look like they're talking to each other. So he's sort of leaning his head back, little tiny nose, and saying what, you know, doing a lot of talking, maybe. And this guy's like, God knows what's going on there. Anyway, enough talking from these guys and me. On we go.
I feel like dancing in the rain. Can I have a volunteer? Just keep right on dancing. What a damn jolly good idea. It's such a jollification, as a matter of fact. So trace your mom, my dear. Underneath the moonlight, together we'll sail across the sea, reminiscing every night. Meantime, baby, I ask you to be my Valentine. You say you'd have to tell your daddy if you can. I'll be your Valentino. Ride upon an omnibus and then the casino. Get in your facial, start a sensation. Seaside rendezvous, so adorable. Seaside rendezvous, woo. Seaside rendezvous. Give us a kiss.
Morning. So we are, folks, in Timoth. A few swimmers having a dip. Perfect in the water, perfect on the water. Looking back there to the parson and the clerk, as I now know they're called. Pretty sure that's what Mark told me. Welcome on board, Mark. See you on the water soon. See you on the water soon. See me on the water soon. Catch you guys on the paddleboarding, smaddleboarding flip side. I couldn't have said it better myself.